I should have took the Patriots money line. What up, y'all? It's the Real Ball Watcher. Grab the binoculars, and I'm back with another video. And I know it's been 2 weeks. Let me do some housekeeping before we get started, man. You see I got the T-Mac on, so you know we talking ball today. We talking about the Panthers. But my Twitter got hacked at the protest, THA protest 4 is gone for now. I'm talking to Twitter support, trying to get it back, X support, whatever you want to call it. I had to make a new Twitter to talk about football, post clips, all 22, all that stuff. It is at THA the RBW. It's that simple. 4, actually. THA RBW 4. I'm going to put that up on the screen so you can go follow that. In the meantime, go follow that if you haven't seen it. This video might not do as well because of that. But go follow that new Twitter for now. I'll update y'all on what happens from there. We going to get the other one back. I promise. And if you'll know it's me because I did buy premium to try to get faster support. So it'll have the blue check mark. But let's get into the football stuff. Come on. First thing I do want to cover. First off, we got to talk about Rico Dowdle. 200 yards rushing, a touchdown. He had like 227 total if you include receiving yards. He hooped. Simple as that. But I got to show the impact that activating rookie out of Colorado, Jimmy Horn, did for this offense. And it was not just the passing game. There was some impact there, but it was mostly in the rushing game, and that's most surprising. Look at this first play. It's going to be your simple reverse. We're going to get it to Jimmy. Got some good blocking. We're kind of setting it up almost like a pitch or a buck sweep where we got two guys pulling to where Jimmy's coming from to make them think that, hey, the ball's going outside. Flip it back to him, nothing but daylight. If we get a better block, this is probably going for a good 30 yards. I'm not going to lie. This is a really, really good play. But the problem is, or the issue that it gives the Dolphins is we were running these type of plays with XL, who was not as dynamic and not as able-bodied after the catch or with the ball in his hands as far as agility-wise. Let's look at the next one. It's just going to be your typical, not jet sweep, but your reverse handoff. He's able to beat that defensive end outside to the edge. That's most important. Under center, in motion, hands the ball off, look at that defensive end. He has to choose, do I go for the handoff? Do I go for the motion guy? Or is it a bootleg? He has 3 options he has to choose from, and that's the gist of this rushing offense. Let's get into it. All right, now on this first rushing play, you see we have a trips bunch right off the edge of the offensive tackle and Taylor Moton. We're gonna be running a pitch, but we're gonna motion Jimmy Horn across the line of scrimmage. That is going to hold whoever number 2, I want to say this Bradley Chubb. It's going to hold him in conflict, but it's also going to hold the secondary's eyes to see, hey, they've done this jet sweep multiple times throughout this game. Let me make sure that he's not getting the ball. Outside of that, you're going to pull Moton. You're going to down block with everybody. The guard and both the guards are going to work up towards the linebackers. You're going to get a pretty good down block from Tommy Trimble, and this is just going to be an explosive run, something we have lacked all season. Explosive plays, period, all season outside of T-Mac. This is going to be an explosive run with some great downhill blocking. And Rico Dowdle is just going to show good vision and good burst to get through that hole and make a play. It's really that simple. Adding Jimmy Horn just makes a lot more conflict, or it makes the defense think a lot more about what's going on. It allows you to do those cheat motions, to do those fake things to deceive guys' eyes, because there is a threat of him getting the ball and making a play. Let's get into the next play that has to do with this. Now, as we look at this play, this is another great example of how putting Jimmy Horn in motion brings conflict towards the defense. We're going to look at Jalen Phillips here. We're going to leave him unblocked. Now, we're going to also not motion out, but we're going to almost pull Tommy Trimble to get upfield. Now Jalen Phillips has to think, hey, nobody's blocking me. I just saw that tight end go upfield to either block or to block, period. And I also see Jimmy Horn in motion. This could be a easy bootleg, dump it off to Jimmy Horn with the lead blocker, so I need to cover the quarterback. Or this could be a jet sweep where they hand it off to him. I'm not sure how this is going. But you know what it does do? It leaves a gaping hole for Rico Dowdle to cut back on off of this. I mean, when you look at it, it's just downhill power blocking from the rest of the line. But because of that conflict, it left Jalen Phillips so far off, he was not able to squeeze down off of Taylor Moton's backside. That's what you want to do on those things. When the guys are down blocking, you want to squeeze. But because of the conflict that we've been putting him in consistently, and putting both of him and Bradley Chubb in consistently, and Chop Robinson, he's not able to squeeze because he thinks, hey, this could be a bootleg. You see him kind of hesitate and stop. Once Bryce hands it off, it's like, okay, who has the ball? Then he looks, oh, it's too late. Rico Dowdle's already gone. This is a smooth 25-yard run. That just adding Jimmy Horn, adding somebody with that explosive yak or explosive with the ball in their hands ability, speed, things they can make plays when you just generate them touches. It's elite towards our run game. It's helping our run game. It's helping our blockers, and it's helping our running backs. We're finally getting explosive runs from our running back. It's not just off of ability, but it's also screening. We got to give Dave Canales some credit for how creative he got in his run game today and using all the elements of his players and their strengths. But let's get into the next play. Now, on this play, I just want to show how freaky Dave Canales is getting with some of these gap schemes. This isn't anything crazy. There is no Jimmy Horn motion, but it just shows how the gap scheme was dominating against the Dolphins front seven. We're going to have Tommy Tremble. He's going to work all the way up to this linebacker number 20. I want to say it's Brooks, Jordan Brooks. You're going to have Damian Lewis come kick out Jalen Phillips. Everybody else down block. Everybody else down block. Moulton, Brady Christensen, we're going to double team this 3 technique. Everybody else down block. Icky kick out Bradley Chubb so he can't make a play off the backside. And we're going to have just a good, I want to say it was like a 17 or 16 yard game. But, I mean, as you can see, Damian Lewis just makes a good impact block. We're going to have XL, who I want to shout him out. XL was great blocking this game. He showed a lot more effort, a lot more strength in his blocks. He was a vital part of this run game on multiple plays, especially on those outside runs. You got to give him credit when it's due, especially if you're going to criticize him. So shout out to Xavier Leggett. You hooped this game. You got you a touchdown. We'll talk about that later. But even in the blocking game, you were much better than you were the first 3 weeks. So I appreciate that. But let's get into the next play, man. All right. Last run play, at least. I know there was a lot more run plays we could have covered. A lot of it was just great blocking from duo, power, things like that. We're not going to keep. I just wanted to show the creativity of the blocks and emotions and things like that Dave Canales did show, which, because he's been criticized before by many people of being a very vanilla offensive play caller, but we can see he can scheme things up when you give him weapons to do it. Now, what we're going to have here is a weird concept. We're going to start with trips once again off the left side, I want to say this time. So it's going to be off of Ikem Ekwonu. We're going to have the slot receiver in the bunch is going to be Trevor Etienne. He's going to motion across. We have Rico Dowdle in. By the way, I just want to put that out. Rico Dowdle is also in the game at the same time. He's going to motion across Bryce's face, almost like he's running out one of those sprint motions. Comes back off the orbit, ball snaps. Everybody down blocks except Ikem Ekwonu is going to be the puller, and so is Damian Lewis. And then you're going to have Rico Dowdle as the lead blocker. So now we have 3 lead blockers going upfield. Now, I will say this play did not work because none of those 3 lead blockers, except for not even Rico Dowdle, none of those 3 lead blockers made any blocks. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it was Damian Lewis. Damian Lewis made a pretty good block. Ikem Ekwonu, Rico Dowdle, they didn't pick anybody up. It just did not look good. And then Corbett, he was just trying to find work, but it didn't work out too well. But this still got us a 4-yard gain. I just wanted to show it can get freaky with Canales. You see, once we start adding guys with some juice, Trevor Etienne is good playmaking ability, which he showed here, breaking 2 tackles, I want to say, on this play to get it to 4 yards. You add Jimmy Horn, who shows that explosiveness with the ball in his hands, able to get open on those motions and jet sweeps, things like that. It just opens up the offense. We seen T-Mac. Y'all swore Bryce couldn't throw the ball downfield. He couldn't make explosive plays until we got T-Mac. He's been all of our explosive plays in the offense so far. Simple as that. He had 2 of them or 3 of them this game, which we'll get to next. But I did want to shout out Canales for showing a lot more creativity in his run game, in his run blocking and things like that, and also versatility. Just an overall well-balanced called game. But let's get into the passing stuff. All right. I might save Bryce Young's passing chart and put it up here. We'll talk about the turnovers. I got him on here so we can be fair. But he hooped this game. Even when he was getting the turnovers, the throws he was making before he got to those plays were very, very good. He was running the offense very well. He was sharp this week, and he made plays. Let's talk about it. Most of the plays went to the right side of the field. Why that is? Because our guy, former guy, Rasul Douglas of the Panthers, he was not getting enough depth in this cover 3. I'm not sure why the Dolphins were running so much cover 3. I feel like since I've been watching Bryce Young, and I watched almost every game of his tape, his best ability is to throw those hole shots on corner routes against cover 2. I don't know if I said cover 3 before, but it's cover 2. So what we're going to have here, we're not even going to drop everything else because it doesn't matter. We're going to have a 5-man blitz, but we're still going to be running cover 2. We're going to have this guy. He's going to play in a high-low zone where he's going to have the flat, but he also has to squeeze it to the safety so there's a small window. Rasul Douglas was not squeezing enough. Simple as that. But we're going to have a smash concept, which is basically just a high-low, make the guy pick. If he squeezes it too much, we're just going to dump it off to DJ Dallas. Simple as that. And that's probably going to be a first down. But when he doesn't squeeze it enough. You see what we get here? We just get an explosive play to our first round wide receiver, our 8th overall pick. I mean, first off, shout out to Bryce Young for standing in the pocket in pressure's face. Boom. On a line. Great ball. Great ball. Let's look at it from the end zone angle. The ability that he had to play against the Blitz this week and stand in the pocket and strongly and throw the ball outside of that one interception, we'll get into it, was great. This is what you wanted to see from him. When this is the stuff they talk about when he's too small, he can't do. He's doing it right here. We just need him to do it a lot more consistently. But from the end zone angle, this is just a pretty ball, man. Simple as that. T-Mac's, I mean, you give T-Mac a free release. The safety's too far downfield. He's basically jogging into the zone. Y'all know T-Mac don't really run. It don't look like he running 100% just because how tall he is. But just a really, really good ball. Really, really good concept. We're going to return to this smash concept later on in the game. But he was really, really good against the Blitz. I think he had 5 big-time throws Sunday, and 4 of them were against the Blitz. So really good game. Really good route from T-Mac. Really good just play call from Dave Canales, knowing what to do against the coverage that he's seeing. Let's get into the next play. All right, let's get into the goofiness. The direct next passing play on this, and this was a pass play. I've seen some people talking about that it's an option, or yeah, it is technically a RPO. And he could have gave it to Dowdle, but the way that Dowdle's moving, it doesn't look like it was meant for him. Looks like this is supposed to always be a fake or almost cheat RPO, and he's just supposed to dump it off to Tommy Tremble right over top. And when you look at this fumble, it looks like he kind of panicked, thinking, oh, I didn't think Bradley Chubb would immediately rush towards me. I made the wrong decision, should have handed it off maybe. And he's kind of putting the ball in one hand to make a move and make a throwing window like he did later in this game. We'll talk about on that 4th down play to T-Mac, to make a move to open up the throwing window to Tommy Tremble. But he just dropped the ball. Simple as that. He kind of tried to juke back with the ball and kind of move the ball to move Bradley Chubb, and he just lost it. It's really that simple. Unacceptable play from your quarterback. Either dirt the ball like you always do, take the sack, live to fight another down. You can't spot them 7 points right here. It's that simple. Let's move on. All right, man. Next play. Not a good play from Bryce Young. We talked about his ability to stand in the pocket and deliver on that cover 2 hole shot to T-Mac. This time he did not do what he was supposed to do. He stood in the pocket. He tried to deliver, but his footwork was terrible. But let's look at it. We got basically a deep dig or a deep over from Xavier Leggett. This versus just a cover 3. Simple as that. You're going to have 5 down linemen who's going to rush because they're expecting the pass. These 3 guys are going to drop under. Then you're going to have 3 guys over top. It's almost like a fire zone, but it's not really a blitz because they're showing it the whole time. And this was open. The play action sucked up the linebacker's paws. It did its job to create that throwing window for Bryce to throw into. He just did not set his feet and get all of his feet under him and make a good pass. He sailed this. It's very that simple. When you see him step up, he does the right thing by stepping up, but he stepped up 2 hitches. He stepped up, hitch again, and step up. He should have just took 1 hitch, planted his feet, and let it go. But because he kept stepping up, he's trying to throw while stepping up into his guard. The guard did not do anything wrong before y'all start. They have pretty good anchors. He just kept sliding for some reason and let the ball go as he's moving, and it overthrew it. It's really that simple. Bad footwork on that throw. Immediately coming off the fumble is just crazy, and it just feels like doom and gloom. We're not going to get out of this hole. This is a nightmare that we can't live. But we know that after his 2 mandated turnovers, he turns it on. After his government mandated turnovers, Bryce Young turns it on. But I mean, yeah, we just got to get him to get consistent. And if he's going to stand and throw in the face of pressure, stand and throw in the pocket, hey, make sure all your cleats are under you. And we'll talk about that later on a good pass. But yeah, he just sailed it because of his footwork. It's really that simple. All right, we got our government mandated turnovers out the way, Bryce Young. What do we got? We down 17-0. It's 4th on, I want to say like 6 or 7. 6, 7. And what do we have? We have the Dolphins running a stunt. Something we have struggled to pick up all year long. We cannot pick up stunts. We did not pick it up again. I mean, we got there a little late. Brady Christensen got there late. But if Bryce Young stands in that pocket right there, that's a sack. It's that simple. But Bryce Young, what do? Hey, we drafted you to show that you could be Superman on 3rd downs as, what's the broski that was the offensive coordinator when Frank Wright got fired? The black guy, Thomas something. I can't remember his name. But show me your extendability. Show me Bama Bryce. Cool. We gonna get up out of there. Bang. And what we talked about earlier on that fumble, he's kind of letting the ball go out in the one hand to stop on a dime and create throwing windows. That's what he does. Once again against Bradley Chubb and also a second defender. All right. Dead leg, stop on the dime. We're gonna move that shoulder because we're about to get the ball stripped. Move that shoulder. Great ball security to have both hands on it when he does it. And then just delivers in probably half a second. His base is set off of that. Delivers a throw to T-Mac 20 yards downfield. This was a 20-yard reception. This is a big-time throw. Like, this is amazing. This is a first-pick throw. This kept us in the game. We can talk about if we would have lost the game, it would have been Bryce Young's fault. True. We didn't lose the game. And you can say we only won the game because of Rico Dowdle at 200 yards. I agree. Rico Dowdle was a major cog, damn near the main. Yeah, he was the main cog of why we won this game. But Bryce Young was directly under him. These plays that he made on fourth down, these throws that he made against the Blitz, those big high leverage moments that y'all been begging for, he made them this week. He just so happened to put us in a hole as he always does. But he climbed out of that hole just like Arizona, but he actually got the job done this time. Second best game of the season. Really, really good quarterbacking game from him. Let's move on to the next play. All right, Jimmy Horn, come get your shout out, my brother. We talking about you in the pass game now. We talked about his impact against the run game. We seen what he did with those jet sweeps. It's going to be the same thing if we run a bubble screen to him. Give him the ball, let him make a play. He was a great returner in college. He was great on those plays in college at Colorado. So teams know what they saw in college. So they game plan for it. Simple as that. We're going to have him and T-Mac stacked. T-Mac is going to be the point guy. He's going to run just a clear out route, but it could have been like he was blocking because of how far the corner is off. Boom. What happens? They're in cover 2, by the way. So there's going to be another hole shot, almost like a smash concept, but it's not really a smash concept. It depends on how you look at it. But yeah, simple as that. Bryce Young's going to turn his eyes towards Jimmy Horn. Jimmy Horn's going to show him his hands. That corner is going to trigger down so fast that it just left us an easy completion over top of him. Cool 15-yard pass. Nothing crazy, but I just wanted to show how important it is having somebody's skill set like Jimmy Horn in the offense. XL is not a threat on these plays. He's a threat moving north and south. When he's already moving, when he's stationary and you're asking him to make a play in tight spaces, he labors too much. It's not possible. Somebody like Jimmy Horn, though, we got both of these safeties looking directly at Jimmy Horn. Not these safeties, these defensive backs looking directly at Jimmy Horn. Nobody's caring about T-Mac, who basically just waltzed to a first down. Good job by T-Mac. Also, you got to shout out the wide receivers on this. This ain't a Bryce Young play. This is about the wide receivers right now. Good job by T-Mac for identifying that, hey, this is cover 2. I can't run myself into coverage, so I'm basically going to walk. I am going to show a little bit of a slowness because I'm going to make it seem like I'm blocking that corner so he can trigger down. But even after that, I'm just going to jog. Bryce Young's going to hit me because I have so much space. Now I can make a play after that. He was able to break that tackle, get an extra about 4 or 5 yards on a 15-yard gain. Really, really good IQ by Tedero McMillan, playing like he's a veteran, but also just showing the impact of having somebody like Jimmy Horn, which I've stressed so many times of getting a player like that in the building. And it showed even if he didn't jump off the stat sheet. But let's move on to the next play. Xavier Leggett. Come to the front of the class, my boy. We got you a trophy. We got you here. Go ahead, sign this, brother. We got scoring. Oh no, scoring's on the back. We got scoring on here. We got Damian Lewis on here somewhere. Tershawn Warren before he changed his number. Let's go ahead and get XL somewhere on here. You earned it, my boy. Put it on the front of the helmet if you want. My guy and Rico Dowdle's on here. My guy XL made a play. And this is what we needed him to do. This is why he's a first-round receiver. He's finally playing into his size. Look, first off, it's 2 guys I need a shout out on this play. Bryce Young, the one y'all hate the most, and Xavier Leggett, the one y'all might hate even more than him. Both of these guys just made a play. First off, what a seed from the far hash by Bryce Young. Man, it's not like the deepest pass. It's probably about 18, maybe 20 air yards, somewhere along those lines. Far hash into the bucket, right off of the ear hole of the defensive back. And Xavier Leggett, strong hands. What strong hands to pull it in, but not only pull it in and turn over to shield it from the ground. He landed on the ball, which often we see when him pops the ball out, but was able to hold on to it. What a great play from 2 guys that, well, one guy, not Bryce. He hasn't been super struggling. He's just been a jag. He's only had like really 2, maybe 1 game where he's really been really good. But a guy in Xavier League who has been struggling. Simple as that. I mean, I want to say he only had 2 receptions this game for like 31 yards. But getting a touchdown like this, we seen what it did for Marvin Harrison Jr. Last week when he had all those drops. And he kind of pulled in that big touchdown. And he just turned it on from there in the second half. And then what he did Sunday, I'm hoping that this could be the springboard play for Xavier League. Get your confidence back in your hands on a play like this. Showing you can still be a big body receiver, strong guy who can win in the red zone, which you did a lot last year. I'm hoping this could be the springboard for him, just like this could be the springboard game for Bryce, where he limits the turnovers and plays consistently the way he did in the second and third and fourth quarter, all 4 quarters. Both of these guys needed this play. It's that simple. And this was the start of the comeback. I think this gave us our first 7 points. It sure did. Shout out to these guys. You got to give them credit where it's due, regardless of how you feel about them. Let's move on to the next play. All right, this is the play we all been waiting on to be completed, but it wasn't. Give them credit. This was a pass interference. Credit to the DB. This is how you play it if you're going to pass interfere. Keep it low. Keep it inside where the ref can't see it. The ref saw it and for some reason picked the flag up. I don't understand that. But this is how you pass interfere if you're going to do it. What we're going to have is 2 out and ups. Simple as that. We run a lot of speed digs or speed outs. So kind of corners who are playing off are kind of preparing for that. We're going to get out and up on these guys. Neither of them bit too bad, but they had just enough leverage. If you're even, we leave it. We throw the ball. And then we're going to have just a big crosser from Hunter Renfro. Not sure why. It should have been Jimmy Horn, but whatever. Let's get into the actual play. Bryce Young throws another seed. He was just on one after he finally got those 2 government-mandated turnovers. Standing in the pocket with guys blitzing. This is one of those big-time throws. With the blitz, not a free rusher. Actually, everybody picked it up, but he stands in with a very strong base. Far hash, downfield. This got to be at least 30, 40 air yards downfield. Puts it right on T-Mac's face mask. This is what you want. Look at it from the end zone angle so you can really see his footwork. Standing strong. Base completely under him. Far hash puts it right on T-Mac's hands. Now, the problem with T-Mac that I have to acknowledge, I am going to do maybe next week or whenever our bye week is. I got to look at when our bye week is. I am going to do my T-Mac video. We're going to start doing rookie report cards soon, where I show what's translated so far, where they can grow in areas, what I see them growing in, and things that may not translate or have not translated so far. And we need to maybe not panic for everybody, but we need to try to get this fixed so they can reach their full potential. And what their potential is with that updated translation. T-Mac here, my brother. You are 6'4", 6'5", whatever you want to call it. I love that you did go up and high point and attack the ball, but you went up with the pinkies. Go up with the thumbs, and I promise you're going to get that catch. Excuse Bentley, because he's crying for no reason if you hear him in the back, Allen. But anyways, side note. But if he goes up with the thumbs and goes attacks the ball and brings it in with his strong hands that we know he has, which we'll talk about on the rookie report card, this is easily the completion we've been waiting on everybody. This is a smooth 30, 40-yard completion. Simple as that. This is what everybody wants to see. Hey, why isn't their chemistry the same? Why is it? I've always felt like that was super overblown. You're going to miss throws. Simple as that. But the way that he's been played, because we didn't have XL, still don't have Coker, Jimmy Horn wasn't playing, they were keying in on him. So these high leverage moments wasn't coming far, and it was far and few between. So they were just missing on those that they did get. But now we see the chemistry is still there. Y'all was just tripping. It was a game and a half. Relax. This is a dot. We just need our first round pick to go pull it in regardless of the interference. You're 6'5". Regardless of the interference, I want you to pull it in. I'm not going to kill him, though. He's a rookie. He's the best we got right now. So you get a pass from me, brother. You could run over my toe. I'm going to dap you up. You get a pass from me, brother. T-Mac, you get a pass. But please start pulling them in so we can get this rookie of the year bet to cash. I'm begging you. Abdul Carter's doing his part. You're doing your part. But Ibuka is turning up. I need you to do your part, brother. We should have 130, 140 yards this game off of this catch right here. Let's move on, though. Come on. Once again, we're facing cover 2. Well, I don't even think we ran a smash concept on this. I think this is genuinely just a corner route from Xavier League, but Rasul Douglas once again refuses to get the correct amount of depth to squeeze this route. He didn't even have anybody underneath to worry about. He was just wrong on this play. He got a little bit more of a squeeze, but I think because they had so many free rushers, he just assumed that Bryce Young was not going to get this throw out, or he didn't have enough chance to get this throw out. Once again, by the way, another big time throw versus the Blitz. But let's let it run. We're going to have it's a weird blitz. They're going to drop the edge from the opposite side, so it's overloaded on once. You're going to send the linebacker, send the nickel back. Maybe this is a linebacker. No, it's going to send the nickel back, and you're going to get a free rusher right in Bryce Young's face. Simple as that. What does Bryce Young do? He looks down the barrel of the gun and flings it for another 25, 27 yard completion. I can't remember what the exact yardage was. Really, really good ball, but also just good poise. And his footwork wasn't all the way under him, but at least he had both cleats in the ground while he was hitting his fadeaway. That's the issue. It was a fadeaway, but at least he had both cleats in the ground. He didn't have one foot off. He wasn't sliding up. He wasn't sliding back. He had both feet in the ground. Then he hit the fadeaway, and it cashed. It got right into the bucket. And from the side angle, it looks like a pretty good throw. But then you go to the end zone angle, and it's probably my favorite throw of the day from Bryce Young if you're looking at it from the end zone angle. Just really good on his play action. Stand in there, take the shot right over. I mean, dog, if Rasul Douglas had enough squeeze on his route and he actually turned his eyes, this could have been an interception. But because he didn't get that depth, because he didn't think Bryce Young would get it off in time. Also, great route by Xavier League, and I'm just noticing that little rocker step he gave Rasul Douglas at the top of the route. Really good play. And Bryce Young, just amazing ball placement this game. That's on a line too, my dog. Like, there's no wobble in that ball. That's on a line. Just really, really good placement from Bryce Young in this game. Really good poise after those two interceptions. Even on the interception, he was pretty poised. His footwork was just a little off when he was stepping up. That's all. That's really what it is. It's a game of inches. So, and you see he won it right here. Simple as that. This is a really, really good play off the top of the helmet of the defending cornerback. Really, really good play. Really good route by Xavier League. I didn't notice the route when I hit the record on this. But those smash concepts, like I said, this isn't even a smash concept. This is just versus cover two. We're just running a corner route, and we're asking you to make a play, quarterback. And the quarterback made a play. And his receivers did not let him down on this play. We got to shout out Xavier League for showing up. Hey, we got it. But your quarterback made a play. Without this play, we're not in this game. We don't win this game. Another one of those plays where we don't win this game and Bryce Young doesn't make it. And let's get to the next one, and probably everybody's favorite. Jimmy Horn. Colorado's very own. Florida's very own. Southern Florida, I want to say. Ain't he from South Florida? Somewhere like that, because he went to UAB or something before Colorado. We got to give Jimmy Horn a shout out. He showed how impactful he is in the run game, just being that cheat motion guy to fool the guy's eyes that he's playing against. We saw how impactful he is in the pass game, once again being a decoy on those screens and things like that. Show me what you could do when we say go play wide receiver. That's what he did. It's almost like a little smash concept. Not a smash concept, I'm sorry. It's almost like a dagger concept where you're going to have the slot clear out that safety, but we're facing man coverage. So we're going to have a big out or a speed out from Jimmy Horn. We're going to have a big, not a dig. It's going to be like a short dig inside from Tedero McMillan. He was also open on this play. But Bryce Young said, I want to be a star. I'm going to make the more difficult pass on, like, I want to say it was like 4th and 9. 4th down, gotta have it. If we don't get this 4th down, we're losing this game. What does Bryce Young do? He puts the ball where nobody but Jimmy Horn could get it. Jimmy Horn, what a route. That explosiveness we talked about. Got up on the corner's feet fast. Made him lunge and grab. You're not going to be able to grab me. We're going to snap this off quick. Boom. I'm open. There's the separation. Bryce Young throwing with capital A anticipation. As soon as he hits that back of his hitch, Jimmy Horn breaks out. He's letting that ball go, and he places it once again right over the helmet of that defensive back. If we look at it from the end zone angle, all cleats in the ground, coming forward through his throwing motion, far hash, it don't matter. Boom, right on top of that DB's head. 1st down on 4th and long. What a play. You gotta give him credit when he's playing well. Yes, we know he had the turnovers. I showed him in this video. I talked about how they were unacceptable. But when he digs us out of that hole, that is just as impressive as if he played all 4 quarters or correctly or cleanly, whatever you want to call it. If the ability to dig us out of a hole and be clutch, I want to talk about it. He has 7 game-winning drives since he's been drafted. I want to say I know it's top 10 of all quarterbacks, so I want to say he was like in 8th place, somewhere like 8th or 7th place. That shows something. He has that gene. We just got to get him to clean up the early parts of the game and kind of get in the rhythm. Once he gets in the rhythm, we seen these plays. We see these dots. We see these seeds that he's throwing. We see these plays that he's making with his extendability. We just need him to clean it up and get in the rhythm earlier. I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe we should call up a little easier, not easier concepts, but concepts that he's more favorable in. We know he likes throwing these, like those. You can't even say that because he had those corner routes against those cover 2s. That's one of his favorite throws or one of his best throws. I think he's been doing that since that first Saints game in Monday Night Football to Jonathan Mingo. But yeah, I don't know what it is. We just got to get that cleaned up. If we're able to get that cleaned up, boy, this team could be scary. Reminder, we're still 2-3. 2nd place in the division. It's not over. It may look grim at times, but it's never over. Keep faith. Always remember the turnaround we had last year. Simple as that. But all right, boys, that's it for me, man. It's been a real ball watcher. Put up your binoculars. We done with this film session. I felt like I would have a lot more plays to review, but it wasn't that many because I'm not going to keep showing y'all just Rico Dowdle just breaking a whole bunch of tackles. This ain't a highlight reel. We talking scheme, We know what duo looks like. Ain't no need to scheme that up. But those gap runs, those cheat motions, those things like that, those creativities in the run, and how Bryce Young was dealing against certain coverages, against blitzes, how guys were running their routes. I'm ready to talk about all those. Simple. But, yeah, man, like I said, it's been a real ball watcher. Go follow that temporary / new Twitter. We're going to see where it takes us. At THARBW4, please go help me out. Go retweet it. Let people know that this is where I'm at least until Thursday. Do all the YouTube stuff, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, should I do the T-Mac report card video? Because, of course, he's going to be first. He was the first-round pick. Should I do that in the next 2 weeks, or should I just wait to the bye if it is a late bye? It might be like a week 10 bye. I'm not sure. I'm not thinking off the top of my head. But should I wait maybe after this Dallas game, sometime like that? Or should I go ahead and get it out the way now? If you like the video, do me a favor. Share it with your homies. Turn on the post notifications. I'll see y'all next week.